Michelle from nerdymomsunited.com, and today we're going to talk about what you can do when your site content gets scraped. Let's go to the slides. What can you do when your blog content gets scraped? What is scraped content and why does it matter? I'm going to get into these details because this is more involved than some of the other ones. Why does scraped content matter to Google? How can you tell if your website has been scraped? And this is very important. What to do if someone steals or scrapes your content from your blog, and there are things you can do about it. 5 steps you can take right now when dealing with a content stealer. And I'll actually give you steps you can actually do today to get that rolling. How to check your blog or website for scraped or copied content. How do you remove scraped content from your blog? And how can you stop your blog content from being scraped? What is scraped content and why does it matter? Scraped content is the act of someone or a piece of software stealing content or images from your site. This is against the law. The law that protects you regarding this is called the copyright law, and there are legal actions you can take regarding this issue. Why does scraped content matter to Google? Well, for one thing, Google really does care about providing good quality, unique search results to their users. If people are scraping content, then all the results they're returning is the same content. And Google doesn't like that, and neither do you if you were looking for information regarding your search query. You want to look at different opinions or how to handle something so that way you have more information. If everyone was scraping content, that's bad because then it's not a good search result. Examples from the Google Help website about dealing with scraped content. I will make sure to drop these links down below for you to make it easier for you. Google's position on the copyright law, here is their link regarding that, and Google's definition on scraped content. So I will leave all these juicy tips for you from their website below so you can see it for yourself. If you do get denied for a Google AdSense account, there are ways to get that fixed, especially if they are saying it's dealing with scraped content on your site or thin content. Fix the issues and you can reapply for a Google AdSense account 6 months later. So get those issues addressed and you can definitely reapply. Just because they said no the first time does not mean you can't try again. How can you tell if your website has been scraped? Well, these are the main ways you can find out. Check for login attempts that are not normal for your website. If it is possible for you, check your server logs for high usage of your hosting resources. This is key if someone is using software to scrape your content. Also, you'll notice your website's getting slower too. That's another key thing. You can talk to your hosting provider to help you determine that. Check your email outbox for the website for strange activity. If strange emails are going out that you're not sending, that might be why. Is your website running slower than normal or crashing a lot? That means there's a piece of software installed in the background from someone who's scraping your content. Get help from your service provider. Let them know what's going on and ask them if they can check your site to see if there's any malware or other software installed on the back end of your site that's causing this issue, or if scraped content is being sent out. Is your website content showing up on other websites? This is the number one dead giveaway that someone has scraped your content. So these are ways to find out if this is happening. There are other ways, but these are the main ones you'll see. What to do if someone steals or scrapes your content from your blog? Alright. For one thing, under the law, you have rights under the copyright law regarding this issue. People cannot just steal your content and put it on their website. You can do something about it. You can politely request that they remove the scraped content by sending them an email, because on their website there should be a way to contact them. Did you know that you can also get help from Google regarding this? Here are 2 links below right here, and I'll make sure to drop them below for you as well, for removing content from Google. So if someone has your scraped content on their site, you go to this website and you let Google know, saying, hey, I'm dealing with this content scraper. Here's my website. Here's their website. This is the content they scraped, and they can help you there. Also, you can go to Google's legal removal request and ask them to remove that person's site because they are violating the copyright law because they have stolen your content. 5 steps you could take right now to dealing with content stealers. Step number 1, make sure you collect all the information from the other site. Do screenshots, everything to prove that they have stolen your content. Screenshots are great because there's no way to edit a screenshot. And all you do is just hit the print screen button on your keyboard and save it to a Word document. That way, and also you want their web address of where that content is at. That way, you have all that information. One thing to bear in mind, the person could have bought this website not knowing the original content was scraped. So, that could happen, and it does happen. It is not uncommon for website owners to hire freelance writers to write content for their website or create content for them, and they might not be aware that writer scraped content from your site. So, these are 2 ways that it wasn't the original owner that did it. They could have bought the site not knowing it had scraped content, or they hired a writer and that writer did the scraped content. So, collect all the information, the web address, the date that you found it, and screenshots of that information. With that information, email that other website owner with the information you have collected. Down below, I have a free download for you that is an email template you can use to contact that person about what you have found. If you do not get a response back from that other website owner, next step you could do is you can report the offending website to their website hosting company. I mean, they have to host that website from somewhere, and I guarantee you 100%, a reputable website hosting company does not want to deal with the copyright law. They don't want to have any dealings with violating the law. So you provide them the evidence you collected, which is that document of the website address and yours, and the screenshots proving that they scraped your content and that you had tried to contact them with the email. You can even do a screenshot of the email you sent to them, proving you tried to contact them and that you have not received response back. Contact that web hosting company and let them know that that person scraped content from your site and displaying on their site. They will help you out. Last step, and I hope you don't have to do this step, you can get a lawyer for legal help. Usually between Google and the web hosting company, you can usually get the issue resolved. Usually a reputable website owner who didn't know that there was scraped content or will take that stuff down. So, but these are steps you can take. How to check your blog or website for scraped or copied content. If you're planning to buy a site, you need to know if this site is legit. Did you know that you could buy complete websites? People do it all the time as investments. You can buy them on Fiverr, Flippa, and there are other freelance networks that you can use to buy a completed website. You can also buy them from web developers who build sites and sell them. And they do it all the time. So, how do you check if the site has copied content? One way is you can validate that site through Google AdSense account and a good domain authority. These are things you want to check on the site before you purchase it. Checking a site for scraped content, here are 2 links here that you can use to check to see if that site has scraped content. I have additional resources for checking for scraped content on my website at nerdymomsunited.com. I will drop the link to that post below for you so that you will have the additional resources and links that I talk about in this video, so that way you have all the information in one location. You also want to check to see if that site has good domain authority, because if it has good domain authority, it doesn't have scraped content. Here are 2 resources here. I have more resources on my blog for checking to see if that site has good domain authority. This is a great way to verify before you buy a website to make sure it's legit. It is validated through Google AdSense, because if it's validated through Google AdSense, it has to adhere to the Google Webmaster guidelines. And one of the main guidelines is no scraped content. How do you remove scraped content from your blog? Alright, so maybe you hired a writer to help you fill out your blog with posts, or you bought a website and you found out there is scraped content. One thing you could do is delete the scraped post or content from your site. You can also unpublish the post, rewrite it, remove the scraped content that's there, and give it a new permalink. So you're pretty much revamping that whole post. You're fixing all the issues. And then you can republish it. If Google has flagged your website for violating the Webmaster Guidelines, here's what you can do. 1. Get familiar with the Google Webmaster Guidelines. And here's the link of where you can do that. Also, you can request your website to be reconsidered to have the violation removed, so you can get out of the Google website jail. This is the link you would go. You would go apply to have your site reconsidered, and they'll look it over. So that way they will remove that violation from your site. So that way you can get found on Google better and have better search results and SEO. My post has all this information and all these links as well. How can I stop my blog content from being scraped? What a great question. There are ways you can prevent someone from scraping content off your site. You can use a script to keep bots and people from scraping content from your site. And I talk more about that at my website, nerdymomsunited.com/post/blogging tack mistakes. I'll leave that link down below. This is also the same post that has all these juicy goodies in this video with all the links. You can also use a WordPress plugin. I use WP Content Copy Protect with Color Design by this gentleman here. I also have a YouTube video on how to use this plugin to make your life a little easier. So that way you know how to keep people from stealing your content. So I will leave that YouTube video that I made regarding this very plugin that I use, so that way you know how to use it. I hope this video was helpful to you. Like and subscribe. I will leave the links that I talked about in this post down below for you, so that way it makes it a little easier for you to get that information, especially that letter that you can use to send to other website owners that have your scraped content, so that way it can help you get the ball rolling. This is Michelle from nerdymomsunited.com, and I'll see you in my next video.